Outward Bound is thriving.
Outward Bound is self-discovery.
Outward Bound is love.
Outward Bound is a community that helps support youth and builds leadership and character. I think Outward Bound is important to the future and the bettering of our constantly changing world because it's building up the students to one day become the ones who will change it.
Outward Bound to me has always been grounding. It is the place that I go to when times get tough. And that's because it's provided me the motto, relentless forward progress.
Outward Bound has always been about skills, and it's still about skills. It's about the skills to do the things that you don't even know that you have to do yet.
There's a whole cohort of current professionals who came up through Outward Bound style, wilderness medicine style cultures. We are almost always using skills of communication, persuasion, leadership, community building. Those are things that are inherent to the Outward Bound experience.
I now work in an ER where days are tough, especially with COVID, and successful patient outcomes rely so strongly on all of those skills. And those are the skills that I developed throughout my tenure as an Outward Bound instructor.
I got COVID back in April of this year, right in the beginning of the pandemic, and it was 3 weeks of complete isolation. So, I mean, it was kind of like a little mini, well, not mini, it's a maxi solo. And I really had to draw on my experiences from Outward Bound to get through that. And I think nowadays, especially for adolescents and youths, I just don't think there's another place like Outward Bound that offers that.
Programs like Outward Bound remind us that it's okay to unplug and step out and take time for ourselves to refresh and recharge, but also the importance of community and relying on our friends and our network and our support systems to help us through tough times.
A lot of Outward Bound staff actually has been taking the time to handcraft masks. And so we've been making these masks since April. And so far we've donated almost about like 350 to 400 masks. These masks are reusable and they've been really helpful to a lot of our community partners.
This remote learning thing was thrown into the mix and feeling very overwhelming. And our staff from the get-go just dove in with love, creativity, humor, all in service of, yes, learning, but also of staying connected as a community.
Outward Bound is community.
Outward Bound is truly inspiring.
Outward Bound is important for the future because it provides a safe and accessible way to access the outdoors.
Outward Bound is a catalyst for social and emotional growth.
It's just this idea of crew, not passengers, it's taken on a new meaning. It's more important than ever.
We will get through this. There's going to be an end to this. This may be the hardest test you face in your life. It may not be, but you've got the wherewithal, you've got the character, you've got the skills.
I'm hopeful. I think that hopefulness is probably a big piece of what I took out of.
I think moving forward, it is my deepest desire that people of all ages, especially young people, will continue to enroll in Outward Bound courses, whether that be an urban course or a wilderness course. The relationships built on an Outward Bound course are between people who have different cultures, different backgrounds, different languages, and those are the skills and the exposures that a lot of people don't get in their daily life and they don't develop in school. And these are the skills that I believe very strongly will contribute to a more cohesive, unified future for all of us, where we're all able to reap the benefits.